We next have an MOU between IDFC Infrastructure Development Finance Corporation Limited and RDIF, Russian Direct Investment Fund, on a co-investment opportunity of up to $1 billion. This will be exchanged between Mr. Kirill Dmitriev, Chairman RDIF, and Dr. Rajiv Lal, Executive Chairman IDFC. Next, we have an MOU between Oil India Limited and Zarubezhneft. This will be exchanged between Mr. S.I. Kudryashov, Director General Zarubezhneft, and Shri Sunil K. Srivastav, Chairman Oil India Limited. Next, we have an MOU between FICCI and Delovaya Russia. This will be exchanged between Mr. Alexei Repik, President Delovaya Russia, and Shri Siddharth Birla, President FICCI. Next, we have an MOU between news agencies PTI and TASS. This will be exchanged between the Director General of TASS, Sergei Mikhailov, and Shri M.K. Razdan, Editor-in-Chief of PTI. The MOU between Electronics and Software Export Promotion Council of India and Skolkovo Foundation of Russia will be exchanged between Mr. Viktor Veckelsberg, President of Skolkovo Foundation, and Shri Deepak Kumar Sareen, Executive Director ESEPCI. Finally, we have an MOU between SR and Rosneft for long-term supply of crude oil. This will be exchanged between Mr. Igor Sechin, President of Rosneft, and Shri Sashi Ria, Chairman SR. This concludes the ceremony. Thank you.
Honorable leaders, distinguished members of both the delegations, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from the media, we will now have media statements. I request the Prime Minister of India to make his media statement.
President Putin and members of the media, it is truly a great pleasure to welcome President Putin to India. We have met twice at the opposite end of the world, in Brazil and in Australia. I am honored to host him in Delhi for the annual summit. Since the turn of the century, he has been a key architect of our partnership. President Putin and Prime Minister Vajpayee launched the annual summit process in 2000. When Prime Minister Vajpayee held the first of summits in Moscow in November 2001, I was there to sign the sister state agreement between Gujarat and Astrakhan. President Putin is a leader of a great nation with which we have a friendship of unmatched mutual confidence, trust, and goodwill. We have a strategic partnership that is incomparable in content. The steadfast support of the people of Russia for India has been there even at difficult moments in our history. It has been a pillar of strength for India's development, security, and international relations. India too has always stood with Russia through its own challenges. the character of global politics and international relations is changing. However, the importance of this relationship and its unique place in India's foreign policy will not change. In many ways, its significance to both countries will grow further in the future. Russia has been India's foremost defense partner through decades. My first visit outside Delhi as Prime Minister was to our new aircraft carrier INS Vikramaditya. It sails our seas as a great symbol of our defense cooperation. Even as India's options have increased today, Russia will remain our most important defense partner. We have conducted joint exercise across all three wings of the armed forces in the last 6 months. President Putin and I discussed a broad range of new defense projects. We also discussed how to align our defense relations to India's own priorities, including Make in India. I am pleased that Russia has offered to fully manufacture in India one of its most advanced helicopters. It also includes the possibility of exports from India. It can be used for both military and civilian use. We will follow up on this quickly. I also propose that Russia should locate manufacturing facilities in India for spares and components for Russian defense equipment in India. He responded very positively to my request. Energy security is critical for India's economic development and creating jobs for our youth. Russia is also a key partner in this area. I am pleased that the first unit of the Kudankulam nuclear power plant is on stream. It has added 20% of the existing capacity for nuclear power in India. We are on course for installing the next 3 units of 1,000 megawatt each. Today, we have outlined an ambitious vision for nuclear energy of at least 10 more reactors. It will have the highest standards of safety in the world. It will also include manufacture of equipment and components in India. This also supports our Make in India policy. Russia is the world's top source for hydrocarbon resources, and India one of the world's largest importers. Yet, despite our close friendship, our collaboration in the sector has been disappointing. Today, we have made a new start with a few important agreements, but we will set an ambitious agenda for partnership in oil and natural gas. Today, we have taken a number of decisions and signed several agreements. They also reflect our shared belief that in today's world, vibrant economic relations constitute a key pillar of a strong strategic partnership. Similarly, closer contacts between people and in areas like education, culture, and tourism are important. I thank President Putin for his support for India's closer relations with Eurasian Economic Union. The International North-South Transport Corridor will connect us better. And today, we will jointly visit the World Diamond Conference. This highlights our new innovative approach to strengthening economic relations. President Putin and I agreed that this is a challenging moment in the world. Our partnership and the strong sensitivity that we have always had for each other's interests will be a source of strength to both countries. I convey my deepest condolence for the loss of lives in the terrorist attack in Chechnya. This also reflects our many shared challenges. Our areas of priority for our cooperation, including combating terrorism and extremism, advancing peace and stability in Afghanistan, working together for a stable, balanced, peaceful, and prosperous Asia-Pacific, and cooperating for developments in other countries. Institutions like BRICS, East Asia Summit, and G20 have also widened our framework of engagement. This is President Putin's 11th annual summit and my first. This summit reinforced my conviction in the extraordinary value and strength of this partnership. I am confident that our bilateral cooperation and international partnership will acquire new vigor and scale new heights in the years ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you, President.
Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, friends. Prime Minister has mentioned that back in 2000 he was part of the Indian delegation to Russia, and I'd like to say that since that time we've been acquainted with Prime Minister, and I'm very pleased that we have an opportunity to continue our cooperation now that he acts in a new capacity as head of the Indian government. Today we have had very substantive and constructive talks on the whole gamut of Indian-Russian talks. I'd like to say that we are mostly content with how this visit is being conducted and with the outcome.
तो भारत और रूस के बीच 16 अहम समझौते हुए हैं जो कि काफी महत्वपूर्ण हैं।